Greetings and salutations from beautiful Greenville, North Carolina. Burr, 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 burr. That's right, Daddy's home. I recently moved back to my hometown because, to be quite frank, Miami was getting too expensive for your boy. So I decided I wanted to have a little reset, make a little bit of content for you guys, and show you some of the things that I've been picking up, especially as I was transitioning from South Florida to North Carolina. Now, this is going to be broken down into 4 sections. It's going to be shoes, it's going to be jackets, coats, pants, and then tops. Now, suffice it to say, your boy probably bought way more stuff than I had any business buying, but I'm still going to show it to you. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Do you remember when I said this? No, I know some of you really like that turbo dark, but that front kind of square toe just wasn't really for me personally. Yeah, I gotta eat a little bit of crow because I ended up picking up a pair of the Rick Owens and Converse turbo darks here. Yes, the square toe that I talked so much shit about in one of my previous videos. Now, to be fair, I actually copped these for archive reasons, as I didn't have a pair of the square toe Converse, and I figured at $51 from Kith, it would be worth picking up. Let me tell you, I actually love these shoes, and I wear them a lot more than I ever thought I would. Now, of course, the standout thing is the square toe right here in the front, and of course that tall tongue with the Converse and Dark Shadow co-branding patch on the front. I know some people like taking it off. I wouldn't. Now, what makes this one and the cactus flower version that came out a little bit different than the previous iterations is the fact that this one is designed to be worn laceless. You can take the laces out of these, and it has an elastic on the inside that helps the tongue stay in place. Beyond that, it's pretty much your traditional Chuck 70. One detail I did forget to mention is that split sole there, much like the rest of the Converse, that gives you kind of the Rick in the back and in the front, and then the Converse in the middle. Now, these are way more interesting than they honestly have any business being. I love particularly wearing them with like wide leg pants, something that just covers up the whole shoe, and the only thing you really see is that square toe. That's probably my favorite way to style them. I do also want to style them with some skinny jeans. I just don't currently have a pair that I really like and want to wear with these. Now, like I said, I got these from Kith, and they were a whopping $51. I think like $65 after shipping and tax and all of that good stuff. So at that price, they're hard to miss. Now, I did notice that Kith has since sold out of these, but I will down in the description provide a few links to some that I think are at a really great price. Overall, if you can get them for cheap, buy them. I think they're worth the wear. And if you are just a Rick fan, even if you didn't really love the Converse collaboration, I think for really cheap, they're good to archive. At least that's what I told myself. Now, in a general sense, I have a really tough time wearing anything other than Rick shoes. I've hopped on that train and I kind of never really looked back. With that said, this Nike Air Humera, I think I'm saying that right, is the very first non-collab Nike shoe I picked up in months. And I gotta say, I love these things. Like, I'm really into these. They really hit that nostalgia kind of moment for me. Just took me back to high school when I always really kind of dug these, but I never got a pair. And having to see like some of my classmates walking around in some of the OG colorways, it just really hurt my soul. So to be able to double back and get a pair, even if I don't believe this is an OG colorway, but you can correct me down there in the comments. I'm not really that tapped into Nike ACG like that. But when I say I love these shoes, like I really fuck with these like the long way. Now, I don't really wear them with my outfits. What I really bought them for were to be like some really comfortable dog walking shoes, because I'm not about to walk my dog in my Rick shoes, at least not every day, and I'm not about to walk him in my Rick Birkenstocks. So these turned out to be exactly what it was that I was looking for. Something stylish, comfortable, and functional. I picked these up from that same Nike outlet I was telling you guys about with the Martine Rose shocks that I picked up not that long ago. And I got them for, I want to say about $100. Now, I know quite a few places are selling them for a little cheaper than that, and I wish I probably would have looked around online first before I committed to them. But honestly, when I saw them on the shelf, I was like, ooh, this price looks good. Yeah, go ahead and run those. Now, I know, like I said, you can find them on sale in this and plenty of other colorways, and if you've had your eye on these, I'm gonna go ahead and give you that stamp of approval. go ahead and cop them. Now for these, I did a US 10, partially because that's what they had available, but when I tried it on, it actually fit perfectly. And for reference, I'm usually a 9.5 or a 10 or a European 43. Now they have some really awesome details on them. Love that like complete mesh wrap kind of going all over the shoe, that silver and black mesh wrap. 3M hits right here at the toe, right here at the back, right here at the swoosh. You even have some 3M hits right here at the tongue. I don't know if you can see it. And they just look incredible on foot, to be completely honest with you. They look really good with like sweats. They look good with wide leg pants. You can even put them together with some slim pants. Just incredibly versatile and really gives off those 90s vibes without having to be like a super chunky shoe that kind of boxes you in. So now we're moving into our next section, and probably the thing that I needed the most on this list, as I've been living in Florida for 2 years, so I haven't needed a coat or a jacket in so long. It's ridiculous. With that said, I got quite a few really cool pieces. Now, the first piece I want to show you is this Subi Flight puffer jacket. And what I love about this is the design in and of itself. Now, functionally speaking, it is a very heavy winter jacket, and it fits that need. But some of the other things that I really love about it is that duvet design. It really does look and feel like you're wearing your comforter. That's not to say that Subi is infallible, because if you know anything about Subi, you know that they do a lot of corny shit. And this jacket is not an exception. You see, this jacket is reversible, and they did this terribly corny all over $ and pluses or whatever the fuck that is on the inside. And when I say I hate it, I fucking hate it. So suffice it to say that I will probably never reverse this jacket and wear it on the other side. And you know, normally I would say to people, you know, hey, if it's your cup of tea, you know, do it. Nah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna roast your motherfucking ass if I see you out here walking around with this jacket on the other side, because this is absolutely terrible. Subi, you do better, okay? Make this jacket again and just put a clean black lining in it, so we ain't gotta look at this horrible shit that you got going on. Now, beyond that, it does have some other details that I really love. Like the duvets are actually that Subi Plus or Cross logo kind of punched into the jacket, which I think is a really nice detail in and of itself. It's got a really heavy, really dense feel to it. I don't believe the feel in and of itself is the traditional down. I think it is actually like a polyester synthetic fabric, but it's still very warm. Like, I wouldn't wear this jacket in any temperature below 30 degrees. Trust me when I say that, because I've definitely worn it on days that were a little bit warmer and felt like I was gonna sweat my face off. It does also have pull tabs on the side, so if you want to kind of tighten it up and close off any drafts that you can get moving up to your chest, I think that's a really great feature that they added to it. And overall, beyond the corny other side of it, it is a really solid winter jacket. I got it in an XL because it was out of stock in the large at the time, but I would say it is a little bit oversized, and so it does look a little bit big on me. I look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or the Michelin Man in this thing, but I don't necessarily mind it because it does give me a little bit of room for additional layering. With that said, if you're going to go buy this jacket, I would definitely do your natural size, or maybe one size down from your natural size. This puffer was a gift from my old assistant manager, who has now got promoted to my position, so shout out to you, Jovenel. Clap, 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 clap. She sent it to me as a Christmas gift / moving gift. And with that said, this jacket does actually come in at $488, which I don't think is a terrible price for what you get. And I know that you can get a puffer from a more reputable brand like the North Face for about the same price, but I think the one thing that you will be missing out is on the design. I think the design is maybe not worth the money, but at least worth a look, and maybe if they put it on sale, worth doubling back for. So our next coat / jacket is gonna come from an unexpected place, and I'm actually gonna kind of expand on this in the video that's gonna follow this particular one, but it's gonna be this Old Navy metallic blue water resistant puffer jacket from their women's collection. Actually, it's pretty simple and straightforward, and probably one of the cheapest puffers you can buy. This one came in at about $30, but I really liked this blue silver metallic material. I thought it looked really cool, really stood out, kind of reminded me any of the metallic Montclair jackets. Not saying that it is a replacement for a Montclair jacket, but it just kind of put me in mind of it. Like I said, I got this from the women's section, which, like, don't sleep on the women's section, dog. Like, you can find some really raw shit in the women's section. Now, the reason why it is important for me to point out that I got this from the women's section is because it features a really dope boxy cropped fit, which, you know, all of us fashion nerds are drooling over right now. And this fits incredible. Now, as you can see from the B-roll, it hits me right at the waist. Now, I stand at about 5'7", 5'8", and I typically take a men's large or extra large in most things. Now, for this one, I got the women's 2X. This isn't the plus size 2X. This is the regular kind of sizing 2X. And the one complaint that I would have about it over anything is the fact that the sleeves are a little bit short on me. Now, this jacket isn't the warmest jacket. It's nowhere near as heavy as the Subi puffer is. So I typically wear like a hoodie or a like crew neck or whatever under it. Now at $30, this is a can't miss pickup. It's very, very low risk, and I think the color is relatively easy to style. Now, if you're super tall, this may not necessarily work for you in the sense of it may be just a little too short in the arms and a little too short in the body, unless you have a shorter torso and longer legs. Still, I was very surprised to walk into Old Navy and see something this cool just sitting there waiting for me to buy. Now, for our last jacket pickup, it is this Kith Abbott gi jacket, and all it really is this lightly filled kind of shell jacket. But what I love about it the most is that gi cut in the front. I actually got really into the gi cut kind of shopping at Kith and fucking with Kith because they do it. I think the shirt is called the Sullivan shirt. I have at least 2 of those Sullivan shirts for sure. Now, it also features this very interesting pattern where the fill is. It's not the exact same thing on all sides. It kind of has a different look depending on, like, you know, what part of the jacket is, almost like a patchwork fill, which I think is super dope. And then it has a button closure. Now, I do kind of wish, or at least would like to see what it looks like with maybe a zipper on the front of it, but I can deal with the button front. Now, this isn't necessarily intended to be a heavy winter jacket. It really is more along the lines of a shell, like something you're gonna be doing a lot of layering with. I probably wouldn't wear this jacket under like 45 degrees. I would start reaching for the puffers from that point, but it is a great kind of all season jacket except for like that deep winter, but early winter, late winter, spring, and the fall. I guess it doesn't really make it all season because I wouldn't wear it in the summertime unless it's a really chilly day, but overall you can get about 2.5 seasons out of it. So really solid jacket. Now, I did a large in this jacket, which is what I would typically do in most jackets, and it fits perfectly fine. It's great in the shoulders, it's great in the chest, it tapers a little bit in the waist but doesn't feel too grippy. So a really great kind of standard fitting jacket. This one came in, I believe, at $225, maybe $240. I'll put the correct price up here on the screen, and I didn't necessarily pay that price because I did at the time get a discount at Kith. Now, they did do a matching pair of pants that went with it that I think are incredible, and I really want to double back and get them, but they were quite expensive, and what I really needed was the coat. Now, finessing over into our next section, which is gonna be the pantalones, and for the first set of pants I got are these Levi's baggy women's trousers slash baggy cargo trousers. It's 3 pairs of pants, 2 of them are cargos, 1 of them is just a plain pair of trousers, but I grouped them all together because 1, they came from the same brand, and 2, they are pretty much the same fit with slightly different materials. Now, for the cargos, I got this faded black, I believe they call it meteorite, and I also got this kind of watercolor camo, which is the one that I really fuck with the hardest, but I find myself wearing the meteorite more often than not. Now, these came from the women's collection as well, much like the Old Navy puffer, and they have a really dope fit through the leg, 2 big ass cargo pockets on the side, and then 2 pockets in the back, as well as your standard kind of welt pockets up top. And surprisingly, all of the pockets are really deep. Like, it really feels like these pants were made to be men's pants, and they were like, let's just make a women's. I don't know. Now, I got all of these for about $30 a piece, with the exception of the meteorite cargo. Those were $108 and then 40% off, so they might have been right around $60. $20. Now for the baggy trousers, pretty much the same look and the same fit as the Meteorite cargos. They just don't have the pockets on the side. And the fabric is slightly different on these. I think they're all about the same weight, but it seems like the trouser feels a little bit more like a brushed cotton, whereas the cargo feels a little bit more rugged. Now, of course, I love this watercolor camo. It is such a really cool detail and something outside of the normal kind of standard camo that we see everywhere. For the fit, it's gotta be one of the best fitting, affordable, wide leg pants or baggy pants that I've seen in a long time. I actually wear these cargos a lot. Like I wear them around the house. I'm wearing the Meteorite ones right now, actually. Now keep in mind that these pants don't have any stretch in them and they are women's, so the sizing is a little bit weird. So for example, I'm typically a men's 33 or 34, and these I went with the women's 31. And in going with that 31, I maybe could have done a 30 as well if I wanted them a little more fitted at the waist. But for me, the 31 is perfect. It feels great. Now, I haven't really worn the trousers too many times so far. It's just I'm kind of opting for the cargos more often than not. I just like the look of the cargo pockets in and of themselves. But when I find myself in a situation where I want that fit, I want that look, but maybe the pockets won't necessarily be appropriate for the look, I'm just gonna lean in on these guys. I got them more so as like a backup or like having that option and just loving the fit in and of itself. Now the Meteorite cargo pants are still available on the Levi's website last time I checked, so definitely put a link down in the description for you guys. And if I can find any of the other ones as well, I will put them down there too. So the next pickup is one that I'm not entirely sure about, and it's gonna be these RTA baggy cargo jeans. Now, overall, I think the design is super sick. I picked these up in Bloomingdale's back in South Florida. I got them for maybe about 120 bucks, so they weren't really that expensive. And there are a lot of things to like about these pants. First of all, they are heavyweight cotton fabric with a little bit of stretch in them. I feel like the stretch really mostly functions to make the jeans softer. Now, I'm not saying that that little 1% of stretch in the jeans won't, you know, add a little bit of give, but it does really mostly feel like it's designed to make the jeans feel a little softer. They have a high-rise fit, which is, you know, typically not for me because high-rise, I got a little bit of a belly. It doesn't always necessarily work out. Also, I'm a little bit short, so high-rise is really hit or miss on me. With that said, they do have oodles of pockets. I counted 2 welt pockets at the top. I want to say there's like 4 cargo pockets, and then you have the big back pockets as well. So there's a lot of pockets for you to store stuff in. That's not necessarily a problem. Really, my problem comes down to the fit of the jeans. And honestly, through the legs, they're fine. They do have that weird kind of thick inseam that I don't really love on these type of pants. But also, they just don't seem to go very well with any of my shoes. Now, with that said, I do think there is a lot of value in these jeans. And I think maybe I'm at a point where I can't see the forest for the trees because I don't have the right pieces to pair with them. So I'm gonna hold on to them for the foreseeable future because I definitely feel like these are a pair of jeans that will connect with me at some point in time. And if I let them go, I'm gonna miss them. Now, next up is arguably the best piece in the pickups, and I buried it deep into the video. And it's gonna be these Rick Owens dark shadow wide leg pusher pants. I picked these up from Luis Villaroma and I got a really good price on it. These are some of the ones I'm not gonna tell you how much I paid, but it was a lot. These are gonna feature your Rick Owens staples, the big cargo pockets in the back, the extended length drawstrings on the front, the elastic waist. They also feature a wide leg cut that's accentuated with functional press studs on the side, so you can literally snap them all the way open to the top and show off a little bit of cheek if you want to. That's not really my style. I just like the look of the buttons more than anything else. Now, beyond the design, I love the fit of these pants. They are the perfect wide leg pant. I mean, they just lay so nicely on the body. And I think some of that can be attributed to the kind of heavyweight twill fabric that are on the pants. It just allows them to drape on the body like an absolute dream. Now, these are all cotton with a 1% stretch in them, similar to the RTA jeans, though these still feel very heavy and rigid at the same time. In this case, it feels like the stretch functions more so for comfort than softness. The one thing I do need to call out about this is the fact that when I got them, they were extremely long. And I know that Rick Owens pants are typically long. You guys love to drag them on the floor until you have holes in them the size of your shoes. But for me, I'm not gonna go. Not spending that much money on a pair of pants. I'm gonna spend a little bit more money and take it to a tailor. And I did. I took it to my girls over at Cassie's Alterations here in Greenville. And let me tell you about Cassie's. Cassie's is the shit, bro. This is the best tailor that I've ever been to. Not only are they affordable, but they are extremely personable. So cool. I enjoyed my time going there. I was being super picky about how I wanted these pants tailored. Like, I was being annoying. Like, circle back twice. Like, hey, but can I show you this? Like, can we just make sure it's like this? I just want to make sure it's right. And they did everything that they possibly could to like assuage my fears and make me feel comfortable that they were gonna do great work. And let me tell you, the work is absolutely incredible. It took the pants from being a maybe for me when I got them because they were just that long. They were just dragging under my shoes and it was uncomfortable. I couldn't walk, to these are my favorite pants and the best thing that I picked up all year long. Okay, well, I know this year just started, but let's include 2023 in that. The best thing that I picked up in the last year and 1 month. And this is including things that I was chasing, like 2 pairs of Geo baskets, a pair of mainline Ramones, and a whole lot of other shit. I say all that to say, if you are in Greenville, and this is not sponsored, but I did tell them I was gonna shout them out on my video. If you are in Greenville, pull up on Cassie's. I don't know why you going anywhere else. Go support my sisters over at Cassie because they getting it popping and they do incredible work. I can vouch for that, signed, sealed, delivered. But yeah, these are really dope pants. And down in the comments, if you want to see me do a more expanded kind of review video on these, let me know. Let me know, because I haven't really seen any reviews on the wide leg pushers. And so, I don't know, if you guys are into it, I'll take some time and, you know, tell you some more expanded thoughts and talk to you a little bit more about the fit. Which, speaking of fit, I did not mention this. I got a size large in these, and I do wish I would have gotten a medium because they are a little big in the waist. But much like any Rick pants, you can pretty much go anywhere from small to extra large, just depending on like how close you want the waist to fill. But the waistband expands and I can also pull it together a little bit with the drawstrings in the front. So moving into our next and final section, we're going to be talking about tops. Now for our first top pickup, it's going to be this Rick Owens Dark Shadow Jason's hoodie. Now this is something that I was literally stalking for months, trying to find one of these at a good price, and I finally did find a great one. I believe I got this from Matches Fashion. Now I ain't gonna front, one of the viewers of this channel popped into my old job, Suvi, and had what I think is one of these on based on just the design of what he had. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little jealous. I was like, hey bro, I need that hoodie. Well, I found one of my very own and I cannot stop raving about how awesome this hoodie is. Now the hoodie itself fits like a glove. It's a little bit slim fitting, but not super tight. This one's slim, but you still have a little room in the shoulders and the chest. Now for reference, I went with the large. I was actually on the fence between the large and the extra large, but they ended up selling the extra large before I could get to it. So I opted for the large, and I'm actually glad that I did. Now this is gonna be 100% cotton with what I believe is a terry lining as opposed to a fleece one, which makes it all the more comfortable. I've also noticed that the cotton does stretch and kind of conform to your body over time, so it's not even feeling as tight as it did after the first wear. And there's a nice balance in the fit too. The arms are super slim, but it's not super slim across the chest and in the waist. Now I'm someone who generally likes oversized kind of boxy things, so I was surprised to love how fitted this was because I really don't like anything clinging to my body, but it just doesn't make me look fat, for lack of a better kind of choice of words. Now, of course, it's got a few additional key features like the extended drawstrings and the massive hood, which will cover pretty much any head type. Now, it also has probably the one thing that I don't like about it, which is that a little penta print on the back of it. I definitely could have done without it, but it's relatively non-offensive. Now, the next one's gonna be another zip-up hoodie, this time in the much more more affordable range, and it's gonna be this PacSun vintage wash hoodie in this tan brown color. I picked this one up from PacSun, and it is actually pretty much the opposite of the Rick Owens Jason's hoodie. This one's gonna have a lighter cotton than the Rick Owens hoodie is. You could definitely tell the difference in the quality of it, but it doesn't mean it's a bad quality. It's actually relatively nice for the price point at about $65. I got it for, I think, $30 because they had a number of promotions going on at the time that I purchased it. They may actually still have them going on right now. Now, it also features a fleece lining as opposed to the terry lining, so if you are wearing a black shirt, you may get a little bit of fuzzies all over it. The zipper is surprisingly functional. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be, nowhere near as smooth as a Rick one, but still a solid zipper for, once again, a $65 hoodie. The wash is really good. Like, overall, it's a really solid hoodie, especially if you don't have the money to spend on a very expensive hoodie. I think you could still get the look and get the quality with this one. Now, for this one, I went once again with the large, and it's quite oversized. I really could have done the medium if I wanted it a little bit more fitted, but it does have like a really good modern cut, a drop shoulder on it. Like I said, oversized cut, so you know it's kind of looser in the chest and in the waist, but still gives your body a nice silhouette. It's got shorter cuffs on it, so the cuffs aren't terribly long, just sits on the body really nice, and it's cut kind of cropped, especially when you zip it up, so sits kind of right at my waist. This one I was looking at previously as an alternative to the Jason's hoodie because I just was having a hard time finding one at the price that I wanted to pay. But after getting the Jason's hoodie, it still was living in my head rent free. So I decided to go ahead and get it because I still wanted a hoodie in that color. Gotta say, I have no complaints. This is another one that's gonna get a lot of wear in my wardrobe. This next pickup is a 2-for-1 because they are both the same shirt in two different colors. And they are the Rick Owens and Champion Tommy's tee I picked up from the 260 sample sale down in Miami, and I believe I actually got these in like maybe early or late November, so not technically a December pickup, but we gonna throw it in with these. I'd never previously tried on one of the Tommy's shirt, and let me tell you, the shirts are very long and very big, and you will notice that mine's are not. That's because I cut them. I cut them to a more cropped look, and I absolutely love them. These are going to feature a really light and really soft organic cotton, as well as the big Penta and Champion logo on the front. In fact, you can see I'm wearing one right now. They also feature an extremely dropped shoulder and a long, wide sleeve. It's still short sleeve, it's just long. As far as what I pair them with, as you can see for the B-roll, I really do like pairing them with more of a wide leg pant. I think they look really good with those, but it doesn't hurt to pair them with like a skinny fit pant too. Now, would I recommend these at full price? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't pay full price for these. I wouldn't pay full price for any of this shit. But at a good sale price, go ahead and snap them up, and you won't feel too bad about it if you feel the need to cut them like I did. Now, for the last piece of this haul, it's gonna be this Heron Preston HPNY pullover hoodie. I picked this one up also from Bloomingdale's at a wonderful price. I think it came in under 200 bucks, and I gotta say, really good investment. Heron Preston is a brand that I've been aware of for a long time, but I've never gotten anything from. How I ended up with this particular one was me trying to buy something as an alternative for that Jason's hoodie that I still ended up getting anyway. More of the story, kids. Just wait and get what you want. But I don't have any regrets about this hoodie because, first of all, the cotton is absolutely amazing. It is really heavy, really thick, really coarse when you touch it, exactly how I like a hoodie to feel. Now, I say quite often how much I'm not really into branding on my clothing or graphics on my clothing like too much. This one I didn't really mind. It was pretty subtle, and then on top of that, it does take me back to my childhood and those old DKNY tees that were super popular in like the mid to late 90s. I think it's a tasteful little flip on that nostalgic logo. For sizing, I did go with a large once again because it is quite oversized oversized. It does have a drop shoulder on it and a nice big hood. So the large felt quite appropriate in this one, and I'm not mad at that choice. As you can see, it fits incredible. What I love the most about this hoodie is probably how cropped it is in the body, even with the waistband. I often find for my 5'8" frame, hoodies are generally a little bit too long, and this one hits at all the right points. And on top of that, the waistband is actually pretty easy to roll up. I can definitely see this hoodie getting a lot of wear. In fact, I've worn it a lot since I got it. When I first got it, I think I wore it almost every day. It's just that comfortable. It's just that cozy, and it looks that good on me. If I could find any for some good prices, even less than what I paid for it, I'm gonna throw it down there in the description. So just scroll down. In fact, pretty much everything that I can throw in the description for you, I am, just so that you guys can catch some deals on some really cool stuff. Well, that's just about everything that I've picked up over the last couple of months. Some really cool stuff, some high end, some low end, just a good mix of things. And it's not really everything. It's just all the stuff that I really felt like was worth showing you guys. Now, with that said, not really working right now, so not gonna be too many more of these haul videos in the foreseeable future. Plus, I'm really looking ahead to some like bigger things that I want to kind of pick up, some things that are, you know, bigger, higher ticket stuff, even on sale. And so I kind of want to start putting some things away for like those type of things. So I really want to kind of change the direction of the type of content that I'm really delivering, you know, and being a little bit more creative as far as like what I'm doing, more styling, you know, just more creative ideas as to how I'm delivering my take on fashion, on style, men's fashion, men's style, like those type of things. And you know what? If you stuck around until the outro, you a real one, because nobody sticks around that long. So if you're here for the outro, let me know what your favorite piece you've picked up so far in 2024. Let me know what you've gotten in the last 2 or 3 weeks. You can even include things from December 2023. I'll take that as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy one of the two on the screen. And until next time, peace.